Gauhati High Court laga Chief Justice Ashutosh Kumar Kohima le sobse pulabar ahia honor kuribole Kohima High Court Bar Association laga bar room de aji reception program ekta rakhishi. Program ke senior advocate aro HCBA laga president CT Jamir pra chair kurishe kun Kohima bench laga behalf pra representation ekta be submit kurishe. Ainaishe ki Kohima de practicing lawyers bishi thakile bi Nagaland pra itia tak खाली एक जज के अपॉइंट करी गिना से और कोहिमा प्रा तीनटा एडवोकेट के सीनियर एडवोकेट लगा डेजिग्नेशन दी गिना से ताई प्रा चीफ जस्टिस के टू मामला खान साइड भी कोई गिना मांगी दिशे गुवाहाटी हाई कोर्ट लगा चीफ जस्टिस आशुतोष कुमार प्रा होमोय कोइशे की कोहिमा दे ठीक-ठाक हाई कोर्ट एकटा लगी से और बनाई थकिया दो 95% पूरा हो गिना से ताई कोहिमा दे होदाय मोइना आही बोले भी कोइशे और नागालैंड लगा लॉयर्स खान कानून और कल्चर भी बुखी बोले ओलाई कोई गिना ताई कुशे कोहिमा बेंच लोगरे बिशी इम्प्रेस आसे और ताई खान रिक्वेस्ट कुरिया खान साइडी बोले पूरा कोशिश करिबो कोई गिना जनाइशे
I was amazed to see this high court, even though it is a very small building and which may have outlived its utility, but the setting is so picturesque that I was left very, very impressed. And I don't agree with Mr. Jamir that Nagaland only has natural resources to feast upon. It has many other things also, the traditions, deeply rich traditions, their own system of justicing and many other aspects of life which you don't find elsewhere. So if I remember correctly, as was the apprehension of Mr. Jamir that I might forget if many agendas are put before me, I would like to assure you that I am conscious of all this. But before I address you that, let me tell you one thing. It's about me. I have always felt as a lawyer, I have practiced for 23 years in Patna High Court. That's the capital of Bihar. And I have been on the bench for about 11 and a half years. I was acting Chief Justice of Patna High Court also. In this capacity, as a lawyer, as a judge, as a new judge, then as a senior judge, an acting Chief Justice and Chief Justice, I have found one aspect which I want to share with you. Chief Justice cannot make a high court, but he has the potential and the capacity to destroy a high court. I would definitely eschew from falling in that category. The measure of the strength of a court is equivalent to, and it is very akin to, the measure of the strength of the bar. See, unless the bar comes up to the expectation of the bench would not perform. You lawyers here in Nagaland, you have a special responsibility. It is not only argument of cases, but preservation of the traditions as well. And as all of us are aware of this, see, there are countries in the world where these tribal regulations have the constitutional approval. Constitutional, I mean, by practice, by precedent, they have attained the status of law, and it is respected more than the statutory law. I'll tell you, I don't remember the name of the countries, but I was told that in some of the countries where these rules, the local rules, which is administered by local councils, like you have your village councils, they are really important to be understood, very necessary to be respected, and to be followed diligently. See, in one of these countries, I clearly remember, they say that when a village council or a local council decides a case, it doesn't declare the winner. It's not a question of winning or losing. They declare it as a day where there is a feast of reconciliation. The idea of justicing in these local, system of justice delivery system is to heal. is to reconcile and not hold the stronger party the winner. So I presume that you also have your village councils, you also have great respect for the elders who decide cases. So that's one aspect of the matter. It has to be in consonance and in conformity with the constitutional provisions, with the law of the land. But then that also has to be respected. In this context, I will tell you that you need a proper High Court building. This bar is too small, I can understand that, but in future, the number is going to increase. So far as independent High Court is concerned, that's a political decision over which I will not comment. It would not be appropriate for me to speak anything about it. So these are political decisions. These are your rights which you can pursue through different methods. For me, as the Chief Justice of Assam High Court, which comprises Nagaland, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh, we take it as independent High Court. These are permanent benches, but we are sitting at Gauhati. I am, and my predecessors also were very careful in rostering, in stationing, for the reason that benches have to be dealt with carefully. So what I have decided is that every month I will be visiting these outlying High Courts, and Nagaland is one of it. Separate High Court is a desire for you to pursue, but at the moment, my belief is that with you associated with the principal seat of Gauhati, with other benches at 3 different states, I think you are more exposed to the ways of the world. Staying in a cloistered environment and looking only at yourself, which is a small little group, perhaps the growth rate would not be as much. Self-determination is a right which everyone exercises. That shall be exercised by you also. But let the appropriate time come. For this to happen in future, in remote future, you need to have a proper establishment for High Court. And it is only with this purpose that I have visited the building which is upcoming. And I have requested Mr. Sema, the Principal Secretary, and other persons associated, the architect, the chief engineer, the contractor, who has done a wonderful job, to be there. And I realized that the place was too big, involving a lot of expenses. I am not against a futuristic building which would cater to the future needs. But then considering the straitened financial circumstances, the difficulties of finance, which is not easily overcome, and it is the responsibility of the state and the center, we took a decision, and I would be wrong to say that we took a decision, we contemplated of taking a decision of scaling it down. Not demolishing anything which has been constructed, but scaling it down for the purposes of fitting the entire scheme in the budgetary provision. As it is, I'm told, a lot of money has been spent. The construction is about 95% complete. But furnishing and finishing is the most important aspect of a building. And for that, we have contemplated, we will be discussing it, not from this pulpit, but sitting across the table, we will be discussing it. Your leaders of the bar would be discussing it with you. We are only contemplating of limiting the space, the area for proper furnishing. And in this context, I would also seek your approval and support for the bar building. See, there is a multi-floored bar building which has come up there. Now, if you insist for that building to be clearly demarcated for the purposes of the bar, perhaps it